Parlare di Salone Internazionale dell'Automobile vuol dire parlare di nuove tecnologie e di marchi molto importanti a livello mondiale. Noi siamo nello stand della General Motors con dei veicoli a fuel cells o degli spaccati dei veicoli a fuel cells che vedete alle mie spalle, ma siamo anche con il signor Nick Zielinski, che ha un'importante qualifica in General Motors, e lasciamo a lui che dica qual è la sua qualifica. I told to the Italian public that you are Nick Zielinski, that you are a very important person in General Motors because you have an important engineer title for new technologies. You are?
Yes, I'm the vehicle chief engineer for our Chevrolet Volt and our Equinox fuel cell program.
Okay, and we must say that in our program, Electric Motor News, we presented Chevrolet Bolts since the first time in North American International Auto Show.
Yes.
Now we saw this model personally for the first time.
Great.
But also we have very interesting to know about the different projects of General Motors, some of them that we see here, and you can tell about this.
Yeah, I'd like to give you a little information about the projects that we have. In fact, on the display here we have at the Frankfurt Auto Show, we have our Chevrolet Volt concept car. We have chassis for the two versions of the Volt that we're working on. We also introduced an Opel version of the E-Flex chassis. In addition, we have what we call in the States the Chevrolet Equinox fuel cell, which is a special program that we have going on right now, where we're going to be placing 100 fuel cell vehicles in the hands of the public in the U.S. over the next year and a half.
So strategy of General Motors is of 360 degrees. Hydrogen, fuel cells, B-fuels, and different types of technologies for new technology for cars and diminution of environment.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, exactly. The strategy that General Motors has is we're looking at energy, what we call energy diversity. We want to make sure that as we go into the future that we're not dependent on just hydrocarbon fuels. We're trying to develop vehicle solutions that can use a variety of different fuels. Our E-Flex system is a good example of this. It's a battery-powered electric vehicle that you can recharge at home overnight, but also has the feature of what we call range extension, which means that the battery can be recharged with an engine generator set that we have on board, so you can drive more miles or more kilometers by recharging the battery. And what's nice about the E-Flex system is that motor generator can be powered by E85 fuel, it can be powered by E100, it can be powered by biodiesel like the Opel concept vehicle that was shown here.
We have our own idea. We followed this field of ecological vehicles and new technologies since a lot of years.
Yes.
But in your opinion, in the future of the cars will be fuel cells, hydrogen internal combustion engine, biofuels of all.
Okay. Yeah, as you go into the future, I think you're going to see all of those fuels available. There isn't one good solution for all vehicles in all the different regions of the world. You know, as an example, in the United States, biofuels, in particular E85, is a fuel that we feel can replace a substantial amount of petroleum. Here in Europe, biodiesel we think is going to be very popular. And in other areas, let's say like China, which is developing an infrastructure, they could go to hydrogen-powered vehicles very easily. We wanted to address that by having a vehicle propulsion architecture that could utilize all those different sources of energy. And that's what we've tried to do with the E-Flex system. So as you go into the future, my prediction is you're going to see all of those things on the road.
Also, we have this idea, we think that will be a different type of fuels in different regions of the world, depending of environment, of infrastructure and other things, of course. You follow also the project of Opel Hydrogen 3.4 with fuel cells in Iceland and in Europe in general?
Yes, we are. I'm the vehicle chief engineer for our fuel cell vehicle programs in North America. I work very closely with the team from Opel that's been developing fuel cell propulsion systems. Our Hydrogen 4, which we've introduced here at the Frankfurt Auto Show, is a carry-on from that learning that we had in Hydrogen 3. It's a much more efficient, quieter, better performing vehicle than the Hydrogen 3, but it is built on the learnings and the knowledge that were developed by the team both in Opel and the United States. So we're strongly supportive and very well aware of the work that's being done by Opel.
And what do you think about Iceland? Because I hear that Iceland, in this special position with a lot of hydrogen in underground too, will be the first country in the world that can develop the hydrogen economy. It's an expression that we hear a lot of in California, also in the government of California. Do you think that can be true, that will be developed so much, this hydrogen energy, hydrogen development in Iceland?
I can't say for sure whether Iceland will be the first, but I do know Iceland has a lot of geothermal geothermal energy, which is a pretty simple extrapolation to get into the hydrogen economy. So they may be one of the best places to easily do that type of transition.
Also because they made yet?
Oh yeah, they're already making hydrogen. You know, it's surprising. I don't think people realize how much hydrogen is actually made throughout the world. You know, hydrogen is one of the things that are required to actually make gasoline. It's to use to hydrogenate raw crude oil to make refined gasoline. So we have the ability to make a lot of hydrogen right now, but in certain areas it can be made very cost effectively, like Iceland, and they could very well be the first. I just can't say for sure.
Other question, that you are engineer, I'm not technician, I'm a journalist, but you are technical man, and so you can say me, as I hear a lot of times in different reports, that hydrogen, maybe you need 1 kilowatt of energy for made 750 is hypothetical numbers, but of hydrogen. So you lose energy for build the hydrogen. This is true, or in some cases is true, or can be true. How is the situation about it?
Well, hydrogen can be made from a number of sources. That's one as a fuel or as an energy carrier. Typically, we make hydrogen from natural gas. That's how it's done right now. And it does take energy to make hydrogen from natural gas. But that's not the only way you can do it. You can do it with solar power. You can do it with wind power. You can do it in nuclear.
More clean?
Yeah, there are much more clean ways of making hydrogen. And we think as we go into the future, we really want to look for renewable sources of making hydrogen. So today, when you can't really look at what's happening today as what's going to be happening in the future and how hydrogen is made. In fact, we have a little display over here on making hydrogen from solar cells to power a vehicle.
And the last question, in your opinion, for develop the car of, as I know in this moment, with internal combustion engine, has more or less 100 years.
Yeah.
Years more, years minus. For develop the alternative cars, minus pollution and new technologies, how much years we need foresee the cars and foresee available cars with the not very expensive costs? How much years we need?
Well, we're actually introducing...
In your opinion, of course, I'm sorry.
In my opinion, well, I can tell you for sure that we're already starting to introduce these new technologies on vehicles. Within General Motors, we have our Project Driveway with the Equinox fuel cells. Those are going to be on the roads driven by regular people. That's happening now. But really the question is, how quickly can we expand those technologies to high volumes? And that'll be happening over a number of years. You know, my guess is that in 10 to 15 years, we could replace a substantial percentage of the vehicles that are on the road today with what I'd call clean energy systems, and be well on our way to also petroleum independence at that time.
Okay, in 10 or 15 years, I will tell you again to you and ask you about if your prevision was true or not.
Yes, thank you. You have to look me up in 10 years.
Okay, thank you very much, and thank you very much for your kindly interview with us.
Great, I appreciate it.
E noi continuiamo con Electric Motor News e da qui dal Salone Internazionale di Francoforte.